Respect the place that you call home. Respect the land in which you roam. Respect the country you were born. Let's take it back. Respect reform. Hold on to freedom, hold on to hope. Don't give them slack, don't give them rope. Don't walk and hang your head in shame. Be proud, stand tall, and we will reign.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode number 24 of the podcast. This is almost a half a year, isn't it, Neil?
It's been going for some time.
Flipping now. Excuse me. Anyway, as always, we're here to talk about community issues, right, Neil, and all the great things that people do across Exeter to make Exeter a great city. And now you know what's coming up next. Oh my gosh, I forgot my breakfast here.
But I think that's enough of that now, Rob.
Huh?
Yeah, cut that out now.
Okay. Well, I normally have Diet Coke and weed seeds because they're free across Exeter. There's so many weeds around the guys that they're actually manufacturing these and turning them by the thousands free of charge. So if you're really hungry, have that Diet Coke and weed seeds for breakfast. Okay.
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 I think
Here we
that's the
go.
end of the weed seeds.
Okay. Anyway, a little surprise, but so hey, by the way, talking about great things that happen in Exeter. Tonight, guys, we're promoting A&M Groundworks, and they're a great local business, been in business for many years, and I'd just like to share something with you that I actually use them myself. Right, Neil? You know that, right?
And AMG Groundworks, if we can get a picture up of them, I want to say happy birthday to you, Anthony Mulligan, and I wish you many more birthdays, so keep up the good work.
Yeah, so guys, just to know, I'm flashing up a couple of slides about what Anthony did in his company. Stunning job for me. I'm very appreciative and minimal cost. And what I'm really thrilled about, I got to know some of the guys, and I'll show you a video from one of the guys. Here he is right there. He's salt of the earth. He could care less about anything in life. He just wants to make a bit of a wage and do the job. And in matter of fact, it was raining like HE that day, and he said, "Rob, I got to have this done by noon because Anthony wants me out of here because I got to go down the street 4 blocks away to finish a job there." So there he is working. We're really proud of Anthony. Thank you very much. So give Anthony a call on 07746 211 986. Right? Okay. So here we go. So I'm really excited about the show, Neil. You're going to update us on what you've been doing in the council, all the local issues, and we've got a great guest tonight, James and Lorna from the Exeter Cycling Campaign, right? Neil, would you like to introduce them?
Yep, so we've got James and Lorna, who are, and I have to emphasise, they are neutral. There's no political support on that, and all through this campaign, all through this podcast tonight, it's purely on cycling and what we've done in Exeter. And like I said, they are politically neutral. Okay, same with Ian Frankham, and I sit in the middle and I want to listen to both sides. So a really, really special thank you to both of you. I know James is quite good at doing speeches and he's on the radio a lot. Lorna, this is her first time, so I think she will actually enjoy it. While we're on the subject, as you can see, Tony is not here yet. If you show a picture of the empty chair.
Do applause here.
Okay, Tony will come in. I had 3 motions, which we'll talk about in a minute, at the council today, which was going through. I had to leave earlier because I didn't want to let our guests down, and I wrote something out for Tony, and I don't know the update on that, but he will come in and update the situation on the 3 motions.
Hey, Neil, guess what? We forgot to tell everybody what we're actually going to do tonight, okay? So is that okay?
Yeah, crack on.
So we got a little agenda here because we're professionals. Not. We've already promoted Anthony's great business. We're going to talk about local issues. James and Lorna here. Thank you very much for coming. We're going to do some community roundup. And naturally the weed of the week, right, Neil? What do
That's
you
right.
think, huh?
Yep, all looking good.
Great. Now, so we're going to also ask you to call in tonight, okay? 07355-429-205 so that we can have some callers and some real-world experience from Exeter. Right, Neil?
Do we have enough manpower tonight?
Well, we got some woman power. What do you think?
Well,
That's
when
even
they
better,
when they
right?
come in, yeah.
Huh?
So we've had a little bit of a short staff. Some people, Jess is ill, my wife's at work still, Tony's at the council, and we're looking at but it doesn't matter. We're going to go for it and let's enjoy it.
Okay, great. So, Neil, run us through a little bit about what you all have been doing, what's going on in the local community.
Right. So, school appeals on Monday. I had to sit through 3 school appeals. I can't go into detail, but very interesting, and I can't talk about the result. But that was a very good, interesting meeting or appeals procedure. And I get on. We've got a Green guy there. We've got Lib Dem, Conservative, and myself, and they were brilliant. Everybody works together as one unity. Potholes. Thank you, Roger, again. We had the pothole in Shillingford Road, which they repaired one, and I questioned why they didn't repair the other one, which was 10 metres up the road. The answer was it's got to be 40 millimetres deep. It apparently was about 38 millimetres deep, but they're going to go and repair that irrespective of the depth. So that was good. A couple of things I'm going to bring about is the speed. Chudley Road, Dawlish Road, we've already said to you that's going to be reduced. So Dawlish Road is being reduced from 60 to 30. That's in the consultation now, and then January it's going to be put in. So thank you for Devon County councillors, Devon County people who've supported that. Shillingford Road, we got asked I've asked Roger if they can shove the 20 miles per hour further up the hill because you've got the new estate going, so they're looking at that.
Excuse me, Neil, what does that mean, Shillingford Road and Chudley Road, for the people that don't know?
Okay, Chudley, we got Alphington. If everybody knows Alphington, you've got the church. If you're coming from the city going out of Exeter, it splits 2-way. So if you go left of the church, go follow it along, then you've got a road which then takes you to Dawlish. And if you all understand it, they've got a lot of building work going on there. But from Devon Motel to the edge of Alphington, it is 60 miles per hour. Country lane, really choke points, and now we managed to get it down to 30, so that's a good thing. Okay, interesting. Go on.
Yeah, interesting. Now, thanks. Let's give her a little round of applause for somebody who just said, "Hey, great to hear about Dawlish Road." Yeah, so we're really really getting out there tonight.
Yeah,
Thanks
this
so
is
much.
a little bit of a mind boggler, and I'm going to ask your opinions on this, guys. So, Chudley Road is being changed. Are you aware of Chudley Road?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chudley Road is basically, it comes straight off, and they're going to change the layout of the road. All right. You're aware of that. So they're closing that road, doing another one coming in. Right. So then an individual wrote to me saying, why are they closing that road whilst they're building the other houses on the new existing road? So I went to Devon County Council, asked them the question, could you delay closing that road because it could be a building site? And the reason I'm bringing this up, I don't know what you want, guys. So now there's a petition of 78 people saying they want to keep it open and 7 people want to close it. Well, the consultation went through and everybody agreed to close that road. So I'm neutral. I'm just relay it. So I don't know what your opinions are, guys. So do we keep it open? Do we delay it? They're trying to close it to limit the traffic. All right. So what's your opinions? James, Lorna?
Well, I'm not sure I've got a strong opinion on Chudley Road, other than putting my sort of cycling campaign hat on. At the moment, you've got that fantastic new bridge over the road there, which isn't yet really helping people get to school safely. It's not really linked into anything, is it?
No, not yet. No.
So I think it'll be great to see that linked in to safe routes for people from Alphington and from the new development to get to the new school. And I think that ties in with the new road. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and yourself, Lorna?
I'm not really familiar with the area. So
Okay. Yeah.
refer to James' better knowledge of that part of the world.
So I'm kept in the middle here. So they want to put a petition, which I will present to Devon County Council, the officers. But it's going to close in the end anyway. All right, and that is it. And the reason is it's to reduce the lorries, to reduce the traffic, and that's what everybody wanted. Now there's a group of people. So going back to you guys, you need to let me know what you want. So if you have got a petition or an anti-petition, I don't know what you call it, it needs to come down, shove it to me, and I will present that to Devon County Council. But I'm neutral. I just do is what the main people want. All right, so that's the way it is. Potholes we've done. Tony will brief you on when he comes in. But I think there's a lot of things going on. Tomorrow I meet 2 of the local police forces in Chatterbox tomorrow. So if anybody's at Chatterbox, come along. Don't ambush me like we done last time. Right?
Excuse
It
me,
was
Neil,
lovely.
What is Chatterbox? You keep mentioning
Okay,
that.
Chatterbox, if you don't know, is the village hall in Alphington. Remember, I was born in Myrtle Close, which that little Chatterbox used to be where I used to go for Sunday school.
Ah,
Yeah, and a group of people, Adrian, I won't mention second names, and that group they've really brought it back. So a lot of generations go there on a Friday. Go there, you get tea, coffee, lovely homemade cakes for nothing. Put a bit of contribution in, but fantastic place to meet.
Neil, so was the St. Michael's your church?
Yeah, St. Michael's, that's a good one. I'm going there on Sunday. I'm taking my granddaughter. She's dressing up as she's got a princess outfit. We're gonna put some wings on it, guys, and she's going to be an angel, or a fairy. I don't know what to do. But looking forward to that. And St. Michael's is a lovely community church. It just brings a lot to the area.
Yeah. Interesting about St. Michael's. Every Sunday, it's packed there. It's just an amazing community up in Alphington, really.
Let's go to Carrot Street. So St. Thomas was my church where I used to go when I was a Cub Scout. Used to carry the flag, and he used to say kneel, and what he meant was kneel down to get the flag. I thought, how did he know my name? But that was years ago. But a little bit, I don't think that has got the same atmosphere, and really we need to support that church as well, St. Thomas Church. Have you ever been in there?
No.
It's quite a unique, lovely, lovely church.
Is this the church that's on Cowick Street?
Yeah,
Thomas?
yeah. Opposite the
C of E
the
church,
old
right?
fire station,
Yeah.
the Age Concern.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's not just about religion. It's about a hub. They've got a place at the back where you can have cups of tea. This is where it should be generated, and where older people or younger people can meet and chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, St. Thomas has an amazing Methodist church as well, which is highly attended as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Really is amazing. Yeah. So that's great. So it's coming back. How long have you been in this community, Neil?
Oh, all my life, unless I was away working. So I was working abroad a lot, but
So
I love this area.
I'm guessing.
And I wouldn't. I know you, Lorna. You live in Hevertree. You live in Topsham.
No, Countess Weir.
Countess Weir.
Yeah.
I would never live the other side of the river. Sorry.
Why, it's too posh for you, Neil, huh?
No. They always say if you live this side, you stay this side, and if you live that side, so it's good. Anyway,
Well, get a life. Maybe try flying to New York every now and then, right?
so let's get to the meat of this now, okay? And Lorna and James have kindly come on, and I have to stress again, this is not political. These are neutral people, and I just love the idea of them coming on to this show.
Okay, I got my hand up, sir. When are you going to talk about your Devon County Council motion?
We're going to have to skip that until Tony comes back. All right.
Oh, where is he, huh?
He will be. This meeting went on forever, and I just think that the last meeting went on forever.
Okay.
And
Well, I think...
no, this is my
is this
my
Tony
wife
that
just walked in, and Tony's not here yet.
Okay, fine. Anyway, okay, so we're going to skip over that for now, Neil, and we're going to...
If you don't mind, we're
talk
going to come,
about-
James. If you don't mind, Lorna, we're going to come back on this subject at the end. All right, so we're not going to interrupt because it's rude anyway, and we can come back. We own the show, so we can do what we like.
Fantastic. Well, Neil, would you like to introduce James and Lauren? And tell
I'm going to
us a little
introduce
bit about
James
them?
first. So, James, you're the chairman
I am, yes. Yeah.
and of Cllr Cycling, and you are a ambassador for cycling, I would say, and promoting it in the city. And I want you to tell your story, and we're going to just listen to you. I'm going to ask some questions, and then Lorna will bring you into it as well.
And
James.
can I just ask before you get cranked up, James, how are you both related? Are you, Lorna, are you into mopeds, and then James is cycling, or do you have anything to do with his work, and vice versa, Lorna?
I mean, we both volunteer with the Exeter Cycling Campaign.
Ah, okay, fantastic. Okay, back to you, Neil. What?
Okay, James, let's start you off. So I first met you, I think, at Hattock.
Would have been, yes.
Okay, and then I've been inviting you, and then we've been missing each other over and over. But finally, I've got him here, and that's not due to his fault. That's my fault. And Lorna, you were invited as well because James said you were a very good ambassador as well. So let's just go backwards. Okay, how did you get into cycling, and how did you become the chairman of Exeter Cycling?
Yeah, thank you, Neil. And first of all, I mean, thank you to yourself for the invite to be here today, and feel really honoured that you've carved out a big chunk of the slot for myself and Lorna. So thank you very much. I might introduce Exeter Cycling Campaign first, which is a local charity. It's been an established charity now for just over a decade. So, you know, formally sort of governed by the Charity Commission, proper constitution, etc., etc. And we're a local road safety charity, and we're about helping this lovely city of ours be even nicer for people who want to be able to have the choice to walk to school, to cycle to work, and of course people on mobility scooters and wheelchairs as well, the ability for them to get to the church or wherever it is that they want to get to. So we're really focused on those short journeys around the city, which people do every day as part of their lives, and giving them the option to do that in something other than a car. And we focus on three things, really. The three things that we know make getting around by foot, by wheels and bike safer and easier. And that's lower speed limits, and you've already talked about that today, Neil, actually, how lower speed limits can make places feel more attractive and welcoming, safer for people to walk to school. For, in some places, less traffic, again, so it's more welcoming and attractive for people to get around. And if you can't do that, actually just separating people away from that traffic, again, so the less confident people on a bike or school children walking to school, they've got that kind of safety and reassurance that it's a safe way to get around the city. And that's the focus of the campaign. I've been the chair for just over a year, and I can tell you how that came about if that's of interest. And we've got a wonderful bunch of supporters. You know, like all organisations, you've got the kind of the chair and the committee at the centre of it, who probably do quite a lot of most things, and then lots of supporters around us who will get involved in certain campaigns, you know, writing to yourself or whatever it might be, when we call on them to take action. And we've got about 1,800 supporters in the city. We think we are well short of the number of people that actually get around the city on a bike. But, you know, we've got a good chunk of the people that get around the city on the bike. And we particularly think about representing people actually who don't use a bike. So not especially thinking ourselves as representing people that spend Sunday afternoon cycling to Oakhampton and back. That's great. It's a great leisure activity. Much more interested in someone that wants to be able to cycle to school, or wants their child to cycle to school, but just doesn't feel able or doesn't feel safe for them to do so. That's who we're really interested in helping them be able to do that.
It was interesting when you said, because I just thought cycling. You just said people on mobility scooters, you know, walking. So it's not just about cycling. And you started this how many years ago?
So the campaign is just over 10 years old. It had kind of, it was in forms before that, which weren't, if you like, formal campaigns, kind of forums and groups, but it's been properly constituted as a local charity for just over 10 years.
And do you get funding?
No, and it's not really an ambition of us to have lots of money. Our strength is in the voice of our supporters, if you like. Some people choose to support us through donations, but we don't seek money, if you like. The power of the campaign is the voice of people that live in the city and want it to be a nicer place.
No, that's interesting because, you know, we have a locality budget, don't we? All right, so it may be next year they're going to give us another £8,000. We've supported various charities around here, and the money goes to a good cause. And maybe consider some of it. And most of the councillors are very good, so it doesn't matter who they are. So we just write around as a collective. For example, the Devon and Dorsets wanted to lay some reefs, so we asked all the councillors. Between 5 councillors, they managed to raise £1,000 right through that. So maybe consider that next year.
I mean, funnily enough, money's not our problem. I mean, it's not what we need most. We need more volunteers,
Right.
And just to amplify our voice. And actually, money doesn't do.
The reason I say for money is to leaflets, brochures, to get the message out. So there's a lot of way of getting.
It's the people. I mean, that is the strength of the campaign is in our volunteers, and we've got some terrific volunteers, but we could always do with more.
So, Lorna, if I were to become a volunteer, what would you want me to do?
Well, we have a variety of volunteer tasks within the campaign. I help run our social media, but we have a very small team doing that. So we have a kind of weekly rota of people, so that we do get our messages out on our Facebook page and on some other social media platforms, including Instagram. But we never have quite enough.
Do you find that hard, trying to keep up? Because social media to me is a nightmare, because you get the keyboard warriors, don't you? Yeah,
yeah, you do. And over the years, you come to focus on making sure you get your positive messages out, perhaps more than having those waging war via the keyboard, because ultimately, I think it's about telling a positive story about Exeter, really, that will help us make the difference.
A couple of stories I told you before, if you don't mind me mentioning it. I had a gentleman come down to do a thing about the summer house. I've got to be careful I don't mention names. And he turned up on his bike, and first thing he said to me, he came from the top of town and to Alphington. And he said, what a pleasant, lovely ride with all the different lanes. He did say go down Alphington Road, and we were discussing Alphington Road, James. And what is your conclusion to me?
Well, I mean, it's really great to hear that, and it's great to know. I think that was a journalist, wasn't it, getting around the city on a bike. It's really good to hear, and he's not unusual, actually. I've met journalists who have surprised me and turned up on a bike, and I didn't know they were going to. And the story they tell, it's just the easiest way to get to where they want to get to.
I know that you're going to turn up when you say you're going to turn up. Actually, that's
Correct. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, a very reliable way of getting around the city. Just to be really clear, it doesn't work for everybody, doesn't work for every journey, and that's not what the cycling campaign is about. Most people that volunteer for the campaign will have a car, will drive a car, but they're just choiceful about when they'd rather bike than not, or walk, or or other ways of getting around the city. But I'm not surprised that people that are kind of doing lots of short journeys around the city, across the city centre, end up choosing to use a bike.
I can see why. Because
it's a cyclable place because it's small.
Yeah, and all the choke points. That's why we got the bus problem. That's why we got the vehicles, the extra vehicles coming into Alphington, 3,000. And I think I've got my bike, and after this, do you know Percy, do you?
I don't know him personally. No,
right,
no,
so
but I know
Percy
I know
used to
you're talking
travel
about.
around. He doesn't have a mobile phone. He doesn't use computers. He goes face to face with people. And I've met him today. Really lovely.
Percy sounds like an interesting person, but who is Percy?
He's a double alderman, so he's Exeter and Devon. He was the chairman. Anyway, he used to bike, and he still does. He bikes everywhere in Exeter. And what he said to me, if you want to get out and meet people, you get on a bike, because you can stop, talk to people, and then that's how you listen to people as well. And if you look at it, it's quite logical.
That's definitely one of the joys of cycling,
Yeah,
actually.
and if I'm sat in a car
you don't
and
have that
driving
interaction.
along, or the van, because I got a work van, so I see your point.
It's a great way to understand the city as well, actually, from other people's perspectives. So, I'm not in a mobility scooter or a wheelchair, but actually getting around the city on a bike just gives you a bit of insight into, oh gosh, I can't actually get down this road because the curbs are too high and I can't get up and over here. If there was just a drop curb, I'd be able to get to that place. And that's exactly the experience of people, trying to get around the city on a mobility scooter. For
So
instance.
this gives you
James,
motivation.
Oh, sorry.
No,
interrupt.
no, go on.
I was just going to say, just flipping back to this slide here, and what is? Did I miss something? What is the campaign? What are you trying to promote? Did you mention a 10-year period? Or?
So the campaign's aims are that essentially everybody who lives in Exeter, pretty much whatever age or ability, we kind of talk about 8 to 80, would have the choice to walk out of their front door and do that short journey by foot, by wheels, if they're on mobility scooter, or by bike. And it's safe for them to do so, from their doorstep to the shops, to where they work, to the library, to the church, whatever it might be, that kind of short journey across the city.
And I often think that we're sort of here for the people who don't cycle yet.
Correct. Very good point.
Yeah.
And it becomes a sort of perpetuating doom loop, really. That a parent will say, I can't let my child cycle to school because it's too dangerous. There's too many cars, so they drive their child to school.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes, I see what
Then
mean.
you got the delays.
and then you've got another car driving to school and yet more traffic. So it becomes sort of self-perpetuating. So we're here for the people who don't cycle yet, and we're campaigning really for better infrastructure for people on bikes, wheels.
So that gives you your
mobility
motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
So what would that infrastructure be then?
Well, there's a good example at the moment that the County Council's just finished building in Rifford Road. It's been built so Boris Johnson actually was a great he was a great Prime Minister for cycling. And he published some standards. He oversaw the publication of some standards for cycle infrastructure, which was the first time this country had that. And those standards were used when they built the Rifford Road cycle path. So if you're ever brave enough to cross the river, come over outside of the city, we will welcome you.
No, I'm gonna. I promise. I don't normally promise, but I promise I'm gonna get my bike cleaned up, ready to go. Safety check.
Yeah.
Safety check.
Actually,
Yeah.
there's a terrific route from here to to my house. Takes you past the Lidl at the bottom of Burnt House.
Yeah, I know where you are. Yeah,
Rifford
yeah.
Road. Actually, if you cycle across the river and through Ludlow Valley and then onto the Rifford Road cycle path, it probably takes you about 16 minutes. You would be hard pushed to do that by car, I can promise you. But anyway, there's a lovely section of cycle path being built in Rifford Road to those standards that Boris Johnson published. And it's safe, it's separated, it's kind of enhanced the area, but it's ensured that there's space for both people on bikes and on mobility scooters. And I want to stress that people in mobility scooters and wheelchairs are absolutely welcome in cycle lanes. They should be really called mobility lanes, I think.
That's interesting. See, I never really considered that.
Yeah.
So it's bringing these ideas. Well, they're not ideas. You're putting it out there now, aren't you?
So I've got a question. What's Tina just texted over to Facebook, said, I believe that every cyclist should have a certificate and insurance and everything else. So Big Brother gets involved there, but that may be a valid point. What's your position on it, guys?
Do you want me to answer that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's not an unusual comment for someone to make.
You
Is it
must have
Tina,
heard it all.
Did you say? Yeah. And I mean, a couple of things. We try and stay out of these sort of debates, if I'm being really honest, because we've talked about the things that make a big difference, and it's slower speeds, less traffic, and being separated from traffic. The example that Lorna's just given, we know is creating thousands of safe journeys every week. We did some counts there last year. Thousands of safe journeys every week, people going to school, etc. Cycling proficiency, as it used to be called, bikeability, really important, but not the thing that's going to unlock really safe journeys to school and work for people. So absolutely support the things like bikeability that are going on in schools in Exeter and in Devon. Bikeability, it's like the modern cycling proficiency that you and I would have done.
Brilliant. Yeah, I do see the children going around with teachers.
That's exactly it. But just doing that If they then get on their bike, walk out of their front door,
Right.
and there's cars zipping past at 40 miles an hour in a
Okay.
constant stream, you can have a certificate, but it's not going to keep you safe.
Yeah. yeah.
Can I ask, would you prefer the whole of Exeter being 20 miles per hour? Is that
That would be a really good outcome, I think. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
because you can't go there. Well, today I was. Up
It would
the
be
road
rare
here.
to go over 20 miles an hour
Well,
in
yeah,
Exeter.
but
wouldn't
I
it?
seen a boy racer today down the road there, and I was taking my granddaughter to playgroup, and the speed he was going. So I wouldn't go against 20 miles per hour.
No, I mean, I think it's a great idea. The difficulty is that, in a way, the road needs to feel like 20 miles an hour. So I live Sweetbriar Lane, and it's 20 miles an hour. And actually, even the council officers didn't realise that it was 20 miles an hour down
Right.
there. And I think most of the car drivers going down it, they seemingly don't know or don't care. I don't know which it is. But we kind of need the road design to support that
Yeah.
feeling of 20 miles an hour.
And you know what they're going to say? Money.
Yeah.
And sadly, but you are funded.
But some signs would be a
yeah,
start.
and we'll talk about the triangle later on,
Yeah.
which I did vote for.
Absolutely.
Okay, only
Great,
because I
great.
knew you, and I
Yeah,
thought you
yeah.
might have a go at me if I
Hey,
did.
Neil, could I just pause you for a second and introduce our other Devon County
Yeah,
councillor?
sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah.
You're
Where you
going
been,
to have to
Donnie?
brief us
Huh?
in a minute.
You've been down to the pub?
Not quite. No.
We'll come back to it in a minute.
I'll
Okay.
tell you later.
Neil says we'll come back to you. And
Yeah, I
he's
don't want to
involved, okay?
interrupt the flow. All right, a couple of things you've mentioned, which I thought was good. If we could reduce the traffic, because most of my complaints is too much traffic. All right, because we've got new structures or new housing estates coming on.
Yeah.
And really, we have to have new housing. We have to. That's the way we've got to build. We've got to build houses. But if you listen to these guys, get on your bike. Right, that will reduce traffic.
Yeah, and join the campaign.
Yeah, we're going to promote these guys. Remember, I'm sitting on the fence here. I can't, and I'd love to take your offer up and come up and
Yeah.
cycle around because
Absolutely, yeah, we'd be very happy to. I mean, I think as well, realistically, Exeter's road network is at capacity or close to capacity. It's on a knife edge, isn't it?
Yeah,
It only takes one accident on the motorway to bring the whole thing grinding to a halt.
that's
But
yeah.
also realistically, we're not going to build motorways everywhere. Even if there was physically the space, I don't think you'd get away with it. So we're going to have to find other ways of getting people to move around the city that doesn't involve driving short distances. And so that's why we're here for the people who don't cycle yet, the nervous cyclists, the kids. But there is going to have to be investment in making those streets feel safe for people. And if they have over something, I think the figure in Boris Johnson's standards was something like 2,000 vehicle movements a day. If you've got more than that, then that's the sort of level that puts people off cycling.
Yeah, and you're also helping the environment, aren't you?
Well, it's
if we want to go
so many
green,
things. Yeah, environment. I mean, it's carbon.
I've got to
obviously.
say though, quickly,
And it's
bikes are
healthy.
getting so technical now that with the little motors on and stuff like that.
I was going to ask you that. What's your opinion with the motors, the electric motors?
Yeah, they're range extenders, aren't they? I mean, they can be car replacements.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, a couple of things on. I mean, bikes. Some bikes are really expensive, but you've got a fantastic charity just along.
Yeah,
the river
down
here
on
at
Haven
Rydon.
Road, isn't it?
Yeah, my kids' bikes have all come from there and gone back there as they've got bigger.
Yeah,
90 quid for a perfectly good bike as they grow up.
I could do better than that. Percy, he gets bikes from, I think, the recycling centre. He repairs them and he donates them for a couple of quid to, I think, refugees, actually. Yeah, whoever wants to cycle
And the
around.
reality is the bike hasn't changed
Yeah.
that much
Well,
in 100 years.
I have built a bike once.
I do look at them with the old drop handlebars when
Yeah,
I was
well,
younger,
Yeah,
I mean-
and how
absolutely.
it's changed a bit now.
They come in slightly different shapes and sizes, but what they remain is the single most efficient way of transporting a human known to
Well, I think the fact the gears have moved on as well, that's helped,
Which is good.
especially when you're pedalling up a hill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And sorry, Lorna, I was just going to go to the. You asked about e-bikes, and I mean, as Lorna said, fantastic range extenders. People tend to cycle further when they're using an e-bike, and with all due respect, older people use them a lot as well. It sustains how long into your life you can cycle. What e-bikes aren't are some of the things you see dashing around the city centre. They're motorbikes.
You're on about a lot of
They're
the
illegal
people who deliver.
Yeah, I mean,
chipped,
yeah, they're not.
Well, they
e-bikes.
adapt
shit.
them, don't they?
Yeah,
faster.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, and we're very, very supportive. I've personally written to the police. I've talked to the leader of Exeter City Council, encouraging them to take more action against.
Which I think they have. I think
They have. It's been
They
great.
do it occasionally where they have
Yeah.
crackdowns, don't
But
they?
while
have,
we're on
yeah.
that subject, wasn't Exeter one of the highest rated for bike thefts?
I think that's right. Although I'm not quite
What
sure
can we do about
what
that?
that was based on. I mean, some of these surveys come out. I think they come out of insurance companies.
Right. And do we
And-
know what the rate is? Because if I take my bike uptown, I'm very trustworthy, guys.
Mm.
And I think, well, nobody's going to steal the bike. But some of these bikes are worth a lot of money. And is there any way we can, besides taking the seat off or taking the wheel away, what do you recommend for bike security? Because you're the
I'm
expert.
sort of surprised at that. I find Exeter an incredibly safe.
Yeah,
place
I do as well.
Uh,
Yeah.
I do as well.
I mean, a decent D-lock will probably
Yeah.
protect your bike.
Yeah.
And the other thing you need, of course, is somewhere to lock your bike to. So we've done a lot of work with our supporters across the city, identifying kind of bike lock deserts, if I can put it like that, places where actually you've got some fantastic stands just down the road, aren't there?
Yeah,
Bike
we
Road.
were going to say about that,
Yeah.
actually.
And can I just interrupt you?
Mm.
When I first saw it, I looked at it, and then somebody wrote to me saying, "Why has it got there?" And then I didn't make a judgment, all right? And I did question it. I thought, why have they put that there? Then I take my granddaughter to playgroup. I always walk her up in them every time she goes. I love it. It's a highlight of my day. And the young children on bikes are locking their bikes to that. And do you know what? If I had a discussion, I use the word discussion, I would lose that discussion because it's being used. So you didn't think I would support you, but
No, I did think you.
I totally-
I have no doubt you see
I
people
totally
using
see where
it.
you're coming
Yeah.
from.
So we've mapped places, various shops where actually a bit of bike parking is going to benefit the business.
Yeah.
Because people, instead of cycling past thinking there's nowhere to put my bike, they can stop. It gets bikes off the pavement as well, because what those kids would have probably done beforehand
Dropped them off
is
against the
dumped
shop.
on. So someone in a wheelchair or
Yeah.
mobility scooter or, a bit less able might struggle a bit to get past. So it's a kind of everyone wins. All right, a parking space has gone probably,
Yeah.
but
But then if you're reducing cars,
everyone's kind of winning. And I came that way this evening. I thought, oh, that's good. I hadn't sort of clocked that, and it's nicely protected, isn't it? And,
yeah, it's brilliant. They put like the flower or the wooden boxes.
Yeah,
in,
I
which
did
is sort of-
suggest, somebody actually wrote to me about Tesco in Exwick about putting a bike stand there because they had their bike stolen. Now, I did actually write to Tesco and sort of say it would be nice if you do it, but I've not actually looked to see whether it's happened.
I think that's on our map of places that
Yeah.
could do with some
We're
bike
gonna-
parking.
We're going to carry on this conversation, but in a minute we're going to bounce back to this conversation regarding vegetation and street parking. But that will, once Tony delivers what he's done in a minute, this will be back to you guys as well. But we're carrying on the subject what we're doing now. So what's your vision for the future?
Shall I go at that one, Lorna?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think I've sort of said it in a way, Neil. You've talked about your grandchildren, that they can walk out of their front door on a scooter or a bike or walking, depending on where their school is, and their parents feel safe when they're kind of 10, 11, 12 to say, bye then, you're off
Yeah.
to school. And it's not the parents' fault that they choose to drive. It's because they don't feel it's safe. So that their parents feel safe to say, bye-bye, I know you're going to get to school. And I know how you're going to get there. There's a nice, clear route for you to get to school.
Yeah, one thing I will say, though, you have to make sure that they are seen. One of the things that I don't like as a car driver is seeing people on bikes, no lights,
Yeah.
in black, and you think, what's that?
But there is a law, though, isn't it? Yeah, I think you've got to have
Need
lights.
lights.
Well,
Yeah.
common
Yeah.
sense
Yeah.
says you do.
And I
to
think
be
most
honest.
people. Is there a law on helmets?
No.
Yeah, and
Well, that's
that
a
was
good
another
champion
thing,
there.
wasn't
You
it?
could champion
We
that.
did an event with the Scouts the other day, and one of the discussions was should it be made legal to wear cycle helmets? And you listen to the children and their opinions, and one did say, as an adult, I don't think you should because your bones become harder. And you couldn't intervene with the actual talk, but you felt like saying yes, but you're still going to hurt when you hit the floor.
I don't know if you've ever been to the Netherlands.
No.
It's amazing.
Well, I have, but not in.
It's amazing. I mean, it's so. They built. They made a political choice. I mean, it wasn't always like it is now, where it's fantastic for cycling. But they did make a choice. They said stop. They had one too many deaths of children under a car, and they said stop the Kindermoord. And they campaigned for a cycling nation, and that's what they've got. But the reason I mention it is that people don't wear helmets in the Netherlands. Because
They don't.
have to, because they're totally separated from the traffic.
So there's no
And
threat.
I think also, you can legislate everything in the world. You can legislate Rob cannot have his Diet Coke, you can't have his weed seeds in the morning, and there has to be some personal responsibility for things, right?
That's right. I mean,
But I think education. If people are quite educated now, like for skiing, for example, I would never.
Yeah.
I love my skiing, but I would always have a helmet on.
Hey, Jane.
Yeah.
Now, I've got a question for you guys. I'm a big proponent of e-scooters. You go to London,
Lorna,
and you go to London, you can rent scooters there. You go to Paris. It's really incredible. And somebody in my family has an e-scooter as well. What's that doggone consultation's been going on for years.
Yeah.
What's going on? Any idea? Do you know anything about that?
I don't know. I'm a fan as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've never used one, but they look quite good fun.
They're, good. They're great.
But I mean, I think
There's
you need
some
to take
speed, isn't there?
seriously that they don't cause danger to others.
Mm-hmm.
So people walking on pavements, etc. But you mentioned Paris, which is, just transformed by the changes they've introduced there.
Yeah.
And it's I was in Paris, so whenever the Olympics was, I didn't go to the Olympics, and just you turn every corner of a street where there's a school, and they've transformed the street for the school.
Did it
So
reduce the traffic though? These
yes,
scooters?
and there's some amazing maps online actually, which I'll send you afterwards about air pollution in Paris over the last kind of 30 years, and it's just disappeared. And they've basically removed the traffic from the city centre, and it's just so easy to get around Paris now on foot.
I must admit, when I stood at the Arc de Triomphe and I saw the traffic, I was gobsmacked.
yeah. So you can see the logic. If we want to go green, get your bike out and reduce the traffic.
And also with an e-scooter, for example, James, I think a lot of hesitation to some people is that it's a new thing. There's no difference between an e-scooter and an electric bike. To me anyway, because they both go in the same direction and they're actually
As long
really
as you're
nice.
sensible.
Yeah.
Both speed restricted.
Yeah.
Someone overtook me on an
Exactly,
e-scooter this evening as I came here.
Did they?
They probably shouldn't have done.
Yeah,
should
sorry
they?
about that.
Yeah, but
They knew it was you coming on the podcast,
yeah,
probably, right?
no,
So-
they were coming along the river on an e-scooter.
Should we bring up
okay.
this cycle route?
Yeah, let's do that.
'Cause
Thanks very much.
The crediting one?
Who would like to talk
okay.
through this?
Right.
This,
So it's
slide
the
we've got up?
E4 cycle route. There's a lot of people for it and a lot of people against it. I'm going to hand it over to you guys because it's can you see that? Can you, the map? If you do want to explain it?
Might need my glasses.
Well, from where it goes essentially helps
Well,
from
shall I
A
give
to
you,
B.
so we're
doesn't
looking
it?
at crediting and bringing
Yeah.
a cycle route in.
Yeah.
If you know the crediting road, it's really dangerous. And if you're a cyclist, I wouldn't even entertain it because you've got sharp corners. All right. But this route, I'm not for it and I'm not against it. As long
This
as
is a
it-
traffic-free route, I take
Yeah.
it then.
So do you want to explain a little bit about it, James? And I put James on the spot, by
You
the
have
way.
put me on the spot there because it's not my specialist subject, but so I think this is the project that's been called the Boniface Trail.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Which has been, I think, a long-standing ambition of a number of people, particularly who live in Crediton and the villages along the way, to create a safe route in and out of the city. And maybe don't focus on it being a route between Crediton and Exeter, but there's lots of villages and schools and things along the way that this would link up.
So it would benefit a lot of people.
Yeah, and I mean, just a couple of things, I suppose. We're particularly interested in the Exeter end, of course.
Yeah.
And there is a challenge there in how you bring it into
Yeah,
Exeter.
does it? I think they were talking about bringing it through St Andrews Road.
Yeah, and St Andrews Road is not a safe
It's
place.
not the nicest place to
No.
drive. So,
No.
as a biker, somebody riding a bicycle,
So that
I'd say no.
that would need really careful thought. I don't
Yeah.
think we've got magic solutions, but
Yeah.
it would need really.
I mean, the only
careful
thought is you track it along the side, perhaps
Mm.
on the side parts, but
Or
definitely
bring-
not on the road
or
itself.
bring it over alongside the existing.
Yeah, because you
road
have to
on
watch
alternative
certain
bridges.
sides because obviously certain ends get flooded. So
Mm. But yeah, I mean, we'd be very supportive of it. We know that these kind of cycle routes generate loads of benefits for the economy, for health, for for people that live along the way, and it feels like Devon County Council are quite.
have they started
up for it.
construction on it yet, or is it still
as
in the
far as I
planning
know.
stage?
Not
Do you
as far as
find
I
Devon
know.
County councillors and officers are supporting this? Yeah, I mean, not generally this. I'm on about this. I'm on about your vision.
Yeah, I mean, so you'll know about the what's called the LC WIP, the improvement plan for cycling and walking in Exeter.
Yeah.
Devon County Council adopted that, and we're really supportive of the county council, the officers and yourselves as councillors on kind of getting on and delivering it as quickly as is possible. And there are going to be, as we're in a tight city. If you like, people are competing for space.
Yeah.
So there are going to be challenges along the way of delivering that, and we'll always encourage Devon County Council to aim high, because that's how we know that a 12-year-old will use it.
So the other day when Tony and I did the
Scout one, wasn't it?
the political week,
Oh, yeah,
Parliament
Scouts,
week,
yeah.
which we had guides, scouts, and all that. A young lady who they had to vote on something, and the various subjects come up, and one was cycle route in Hevertree Road, and I said, she was only about 11, acted like she was 20, and she said, I cycled to school. I love cycling to school, but Hevertree, there's no route. So ideally, you said space, and this is trying to compromise, because some people say you shouldn't be on the road, or you're a hazard and you cut inside. But I understand what you're saying. We need to find that space to
Well, it's trying to find safe routes.
safe routes, but
They
also
get you
where
there.
the cars can do whatever, or but everybody's in. You're going to have people against you. You're going to have people for you.
Yeah, some days it feels like you're never in the right place when you're on a bike. You go on the pavement and people tell you off for that, and you go on the road and people tell you off for that. And to be honest with you, nobody really likes shared paths.
Yeah.
Pedestrians aren't fond of mixing with cyclists.
One-
and to
one
be
of the
honest, cyclists
exam-
aren't that fond of mixing with pedestrians.
But
really.
you're protected, aren't you? I think it's correct. You got to give a car has to give you 2 meters. Am I right?
If it can,
And
yeah.
that never really happens, or often doesn't happen.
Well, I try my best
Thank you.
because I don't want to get done.
Well, if there's any consolation, I treat you like a horse, where I have to give.
I think
plenty
that's a
of
good
room.
thing, is it? Yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to sort of slow down and allow room.
Yeah,
that's
and,
really good to hear.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
if you think about it, everybody's got a right to be on that road. So
Exactly.
Yep.
yeah.
I do, and I can stand by. If I see a cyclist, I either slow down, all right, and then I wait for that 2 meter gap, and that is the law. 2 meter
But
gap.
I agree with what you said when I first came in about. I think nearly all of Exeter should be 20 miles an hour. There's no reason to go any faster, because most of the time you can't, and you will get there maybe a little longer, but not by much.
Yeah, but Tony, you have to have something that's actually, first of all, it has to be something practical, and it has to be enforceable. There's no use, I'm still new to Exeter. What's that road that comes down the river, the main artery or something?
That's Western
Topsham
Way.
Road.
Western Way?
Western Way,
Western Way,
exactly.
yeah.
So there's no use putting a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit on Western Way, because people rip down there and what do
Well,
you do?
they
have a
do
cop
some.
down
They
there all
might
the
do
time?
No, but if you went
sometimes.
through
How does it work?
education
Yeah.
and say, look, everything's 20, all right, you ain't going to get any quicker, because as soon as you go 40 or 50, you hit the traffic light anyway.
Yeah,
You hit the
So-
traffic.
yeah.
And Western Way is a good example where actually, if you're on a bike, you're separated from the traffic.
Yeah.
I mean,
it
this
needs
is
a
the
bit of
thing
love and
I
care,
was
but it is
thinking
there.
about, which is when I was younger, I cycled to Exmouth. I mean, looking back now, probably silly on the main roads, but now you've obviously got the cycle routes, which I've never used personally, but I think they're brilliant, that take you to Exmouth, and I think it probably goes further now. But
I'm
takes
gonna-
you to Exmouth, safe as you like.
I'm going to change direction now, which will bring you back in, and you know why. All right. So, as I said, I had 3 motions, or Tony and I had 3 motions. One was the weed and the vegetation around Exeter and Devon. Remember, we're Devon County councillors. The ADHD, which affects everybody, where it's disjointed and a lot of children are missing out. And some people, the children got exams and they don't get diagnosed till later, so it affects their career or their future. And the other one, which bring both of these motions, one with the vegetation and the one with parking, which is, to me, is very antisocial, which affects everybody. So I'm going to pass it all over to Tony because
Thanks a lot.
I stitched him up today with a scribbled note, and he'll tell you whether they had time to do it. And then I'd like to hand it back to you guys.
Right,
Okay.
so the reason why it took me so long to come in is because, as usual, the council do take a long time to do motions. So I managed to get all three in. So I'll do the first one, ADHD, first, although it wasn't the first motion. Everyone was happy. I actually told them a bit about one of my children and how important it is to get the diagnosis done early and how he progressed in life because of it and how it makes a difference and how I'd like all children with that condition to be treated the same. That one went through. The next,
What was in that motion then, Tony? What did you
well,
actually
essentially,
ask
it's
them do?
to speed up the ADHD prognosis so that doctors can diagnose it quicker, so that they can be dealt with quicker.
Yeah, so I was approached by a constituency who was prepared to go private, even though she didn't have a lot of money. It was using the same people to diagnose it in the NHS, but because she went private with the same people, the NHS or this people would not accept it. So, and Tony's son is now a scientist, by the way, and I'm very proud of him. You are, Tony.
Well, yeah, he's one child who's married so far. So,
Well, does he take after his father or mother?
well, obviously he got his brains from me, but I didn't want to say that.
Okay, good. I thought it was a good
Yeah.
looks, actually.
Well, he got that as well. In fact, when he got married,
Yeah,
he was
we
the
didn't get
smartest
the
I ever
list
saw
on
him.
it.
Even if
a
it was
great
for 30
initiative.
minutes.
So was it passed, Tony? Or
It
what?
was
Huh?
passed, yeah, no objections. There was a debate where obviously some people talked about it, but everyone was essentially in favour. So
And how was your
one went
30-second
all right.
speech? Good?
It was, yeah, it went down well, you know. The next motion, we'll say weeds, our favourite subject. I did actually read through it 2 or 3 times so I knew what you were saying, so I didn't stumble over my words. A big debate over that. Most people were in favour of it. One person did stand up and say weeds are important, but obviously the welfare of our children are more important.
Tony, what's the gist of the motion? What are
Well, the
you
motion
asking
is
people to
essentially,
actually
you know,
do?
we have to put funding and deal with the weeds for cyclists as well, because they're growing out, they're causing damage, and it's not the damage they're causing now, it's what they'll cause next year and the year after. It's an underlying problem. It's taking pavements up. It's all sorts of damage. You can see it now. So if you
Well, they
cycle
had
along a
funding
pavement,
before,
Let's
though.
throw that to James and Lorna. Have you noticed, you will when you leave here now, do you see all the weed problems and some of the bushes?
I mean, personally, I'm quite in favour of sort of leaving some of the grass longer. You know, you hear a grasshopper for the first time.
oh yeah, well
Left
the
along
grass, no
yeah.
problem with, you see.
But I don't like a cycle path where it's blocked with. I'd love to see.
Yeah,
the
so if
cycle
it's not
paths
maintained, it doesn't
um,
become a psychopath.
You understand the logic. You know, I love animals, I love nature, but at the end of the day, I know that that pavement will be destroyed and it will cost you a lot more money than dealing with it now. And it's just husbandry. It's looking after where we live
Yeah.
and respect
I
and
mean,
pride.
I don't know how you deal with it. Whether you know you have to spray it.
You're not allowed to spray, you see.
That-
and that can then affect the rivers, can't it? So,
Yeah, so it's, you know, some people say hot water or they've got machines, but at the end of the day, we need to find the funding, which we're going to go back to in January, where we're trying to get some
I
funding.
mean, the motion's essentially we need
So
some
what
money
happened
to do
then?
it.
What did they say?
Well, it was passed. I mean, somebody did bring up something that they said, you know, weeds are important, and they are for various reasons, you know, and the damage they cause. But, you know, we have to think
Yeah, but
of
we
all
don't
the
want to live
children.
in a jungle, do we?
But, you know, you've got to find that line where if we don't deal with it, you will be living in a jungle.
And how did they take it when I said it's watered down?
Well, they didn't say
What, the
much,
weeds
really.
were watered down?
The motion, sorry.
They watered it down. I had to, I mean, to be honest, I had to agree with what they said at the end because you couldn't come back with anything because obviously you had to go.
Are they happy us trying to find money
Yeah,
in the scrutiny?
you know, it's a case of in January we'll find out, but it certainly caused about 20 minutes worth of debating, that one,
Brilliant.
Hey,
which is
Tony,
another reason why I'm late.
Hey, Tony, our famous MP funding all sorts of woke projects.
Rob,
He
no
actually
politics.
delivers.
No politics
No
today.
politics, Rob.
No, he's
So
he-
getting back to the last
No,
motion, Rob.
well, just a second. Let me finish, sir. Okay. What I was saying is, I think he did actually say that he would write to the Devon County Council. Okay. Is he going to play a role in any? Or have you heard
I
that?
don't
Is he
know.
gonna
We'll have to
because
find.
he can tap into the big.
Yeah,
funding
we'll have to
Well,
find
well,
out.
well,
But I
we-
think it's a nationwide problem. So
Yeah, well, what
you
we'll
know.
do, Tony, is we'll get it all put on to the media, not the media, but whatever we can do to explain what the outcome is, so we know what extra.
So-
Devon County Council are doing.
Thank you very much.
I was
Yeah.
going to say the third motion, which
Yeah, you
happened
are
to
in a
me,
minute. Hang on.
me again.
Well, hang on, Tone. So we're trying to get funding in order to give to Exeter City Council in order to stop all
Alleviate.
this deterioration of our streets and all that. That's what we're trying
Well,
to do.
also to
We're
make
not
the
on about
city
cutting
look
grass
good
and all that.
again, right?
It's just the weeds.
Well, we're trying to do. Obviously, we're doing our bit with the community payback team, who are doing
We're coming
absolutely a
back to that in a
fantastic
minute.
job.
Now
I'm
the
not going
third
to talk
motion,
about
Tone.
that. And the third motion, which they were done one after the other. So by now, the county councillors were fed up with me because I stood up again, and that was pavement parking, and which is obviously something that causes problem for cyclists
It
as
does.
well.
Yeah,
What does
absolutely.
that
You know,
mean, pavement parking?
People who park half on the pavement and half on the road, so they essentially restrict access to the roads, the pavements
And
for
what
people.
did you have in the motion then?
Well, to photographic proof should be needed to show that and enforce better, so that people who
Better
do it
enforcement.
regularly don't get away with it.
Yeah.
So somebody did bring up the fact that you could actually get a photo, digitally change it, which I thought we're getting too technical now, everybody.
But
Digitally change
yeah,
it,
he's
you know.
technically right. So what we're trying to say is people have been sending pictures in, and
No action taken.
yeah, they are actually their time dated location. All right. So if somebody did doctor it, you could find out very easily. All right. So the motion we put forward is we should consider the evidence because they're not called traffic wardens anymore. What are they called?
Enforcement officers. now.
Enforcement officers can take pictures on their phones, and it's all done. All right, so I will update you. Tony will update you on the outcome of that. So Rob's telling me to hurry up. Yes,
Yeah,
Rob?
and I will say all three motions passed. There you go.
Oh, that's all four in there.
Is it illegal though, the pavement parking?
Right,
It's-
that's right. Sorry,
it
In
is and it
Exeter
isn't.
is,
Is it?
but it's not enforced by Devon County Council because I know why. But that's another day.
Okay, fantastic. So Neil, or Tony, actually, what's going on with the payback team?
Right,
here?
so
and what is it? Also,
this is the
okay?
community payback team. They do a fantastic job in St Thomas at the moment. They're in my area for I think another week and a bit. They're people who are sort of paying back to society. They're clearing up weeds essentially. Our subject there. Really surprising what they get. Any weed bags that are collected, which is quite a lot, they get picked up the next day. So I know people are saying that it's being left there. No, as far as I'm aware, and it may not be for everyone, a vehicle does come along and collect them, and they're going around my area doing that. Great bunch of guys. I'm not interested. Somebody did ask, what's their crime? Well, quite honestly, it's not anyone's business what it is. They are paying back to society.
Okay, Neil, what do you have to say about that?
Right, these guys are lovely. All right, they've done misdemeanors or whatever they've done. Right, but they're out there. If you see them, guys, go out there, give them a cup of tea.
Talk to them.
Because they won the Weed a Week last week, Tony, I reminded him that he had to buy some donuts and some lemonade.
I'm
or
reluctant
whatever.
to do it this week, but I've
And
got to say,
What I'm saying to you is they're coming to our area next because I've asked them to come to certain locations, Old Vicarage Road, all that area. So if you've got an area you want cleaned up, let me know. I will write to them. These guys are there.
I do think there'll be a
endless
big
supply.
demand all over Exeter
That's
soon.
fantastic.
Okay.
Hey, Tony, why don't you give the Weed a Week of the
Well,
award away
it'll
here,
probably
will
going to
you,
cost
please?
me another lot of donuts and Coke, but
Go ahead.
I can argue and say they're a great bunch of guys, worth every drink and donut I bought.
Seems like a good solution.
Well,
It's
you
one
know,
part of, and we're tapping into it.
it's tapping into it, and I've given the contact to some other kind of councillors, not just our party, all areas, because it is when people come to Exeter, they don't. They want to see a city that we're proud to live in,
Absolutely.
and it
Very
does
good.
make a difference.
Okay, so a few things to say.
Oh,
Go
I
ahead,
was
Tony.
going to say that November, we've shaved our moustaches off now.
Yeah, we've got £200 to donate. That's another story.
Yeah, we'll tell you next
we're
week.
gonna wrap this up. Well, first of all, we don't have to wrap it up at 7, Rob, because I want to really, really thank you guys, James, Lorna.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
you are legends in your own right. We will support you as much as we can, and I'd like to invite you again sometime. You know,
Love to
because
come
things
back,
are happening in the future, and I think it's been a good conversation, and it's neutral, and I emphasise neutral. Rob?
Yeah, definitely. I think I learned a lot off this podcast. Thank you very much, James and Laura, for coming.
Thanks very much for inviting us.
Thank you. It's really
And
kind of you.
also, we will put it on our Facebook page. If you want to join these guys, join their group, link up. All right, I'll send it to them. And then, you know, there's 1,800 people. Let's try and double it. There's one last thing which is really important to me. And I'm sorry, Rob. All right.
Don't be sorry, Neil. What is that thing?
Okay, Devon County Councillor today, or Devon County Council, right, there was a good presentation today regarding fostering. Fostering in Devon. They asked if every councillor could promote this, and could every councillor try and find a foster parent. There's young people out there are being moved out of the county in order because they don't have enough fostering people. Please, please, if you can foster a child, you need to get out of Devon County Council. They're there to support you. It's not about money. You know, you can get reductions in your council tax but at the end of the day, if you're willing, step up to the mark, all right, and foster these children. We don't want them leaving the county, all right. It's very important. So get out of Devon County Council.
Thank you very
And
much.
I'm sorry I'm over
Could I
the
just
time.
add a little bit to that? My recollection is that you actually get paid
You do
a decent amount.
some of it's not.
for
It's
it,
not
right?
about the money. I mean, a lot of them do it not for profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, these children need security. They need somewhere
they need
to be
love.
loved and home. All right. And if I didn't have so many kids and so many dogs and pets, and I would consider it.
Yeah. And I think there's nothing better that you can give than to give a child or a young person a good start in life. Don't you think, Neil?
I agree. And, you know, once again, if you're prepared to foster, please get out of Devon County Council.
Thank you very much. Hey, Neil, could we just close by sort of playing the video that you and I like, which is, I think, reflective of the greater good and why we're actually here and how we are here. Would that be okay with you?
Yeah, we want to be changed, and it's not political. It's just we want things. And I love this video because I'm ex-military, and it just brings back home.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so here we go. If I can make this work.
Oh, you're failing us, Rob.
No volume.
Okay, so describe what's going on in this video, please, Neil, for us. 'cause I
Basically,
think
it's
that the,
Remembrance Day, and the gentleman has served in the previous conflicts. The country's changing. You know, it's changing for the worse, and I'm not on about, you know, it's just that the weeds are growing, we've got no money, you know, and he's just saying a lot of people have died for this country. To put it, it used to be Great Britain. We don't really use the word Great Britain anymore. You know, we should be as one family. We should support each other. And he is just saying that we're losing direction. And I think we need to stop, pause, and reevaluate where we're going to go from here for the future of our
Yeah.
children.
Thanks very much. And I think also having you all on the podcast tonight is reflective of that we need to all pull together, you know, as a team to promote various initiatives like fostering or whatever it be, you know, instead of dividing everybody. So, hey Neil, what are any final comments that
No,
you have?
I think we
please?
need to cut it. We're 4 minutes over, and I think we've.
Okay, do you have anything
Change
else to
as
add?
we are.
Neil?
Nope, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching podcasts. See you next Thursday. Same time, same station.
Respect the place that you call